All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I wanted to make a video covering the 2017 NABBA Mr. Universe competition. Now, I made several videos about the old school NABBA Mr. Universe and back in the day when it was even bigger than the Mr. Olympia. So it has a lot of history behind that competition. So I think it's definitely worthy of covering in 2017. So interestingly enough, I made a video about the winner of the 2017 Mr. Universe just days before the universe happened. And I actually had no idea this guy was competing in the NABBA Mr. Universe. So Shaun Joseph Tavernier, aka the guy that I made a video about looking like Kevin Levrone in the front most muscular, where his delts just look super round and look super reminiscent of Kevin Levrone. He was actually the guy that won the overall at the 2017 NABBA Mr. Universe. Now, in the IFBB, he competed as a 212 competitor, and he actually sent me a message after I posted my first video about him, the Kevin Levrone video. He messaged me and said, "Thanks for the video." He said, "By the way, as I'm writing you this message, I'm about to step on stage at the 2017 Mr. Universe." And he basically goes on to say he essentially left the IFBB due to this whole split between the amateur league and the pro league. It affected him over there in the UK. So now he's competing in the NABBA Mr. Universe instead of the IFBB over here. And as you guys know, the IFBB has that policy where they don't look too kindly upon people competing in rival organizations. So I don't know what this means for Shaun Tavernier in terms of his IFBB future, if he ever has one now. But he is certainly a fantastic bodybuilder. I was looking at some of the pictures from the show. He looks like he handily won that show. I think he was far ahead of the competition. And I think this guy is a perfect example of why we don't need to only look at the IFBB for great bodybuilders. I mean, unfortunately, pretty much everybody holds the IFBB to the highest standard of bodybuilding, but we kind of forget that there are freaks out there that don't necessarily compete in the IFBB Pro League. There are freaks that compete in other organizations with amazing physiques that would rival IFBB pros any day of the week. So I think I'm in a very interesting position here because I've actually been contacted by the promoters of NABBA. I've been in contact with them back and forth a couple of times, and now here we are talking to Shaun Tavernier, the winner of the 2017 NABBA Universe. Now, obviously, today's NABBA Mr. Universe is a little bit different than it used to be back in the day, and the NABBA Universe guys probably could not rival the Mr. Olympia guys. But back in the day, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Bill Pearl, you had Reg Park, you had Frank Zane, you had Boyer Coe, Chris Dickerson, Serge Nubret, Bertil Fox. I mean, you had the best of the best bodybuilders competing and winning the NABBA Mr. Universe back in the day. This was the title to have, especially back in the 70s. And a lot of these guys would go on to win Mr. Olympia competitions as well. Like I said, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Frank Zane, you had Chris Dickerson. I mean, these guys were amazing. So one thing I'm kind of looking forward to seeing is, with this IFBB Pro and Amateur League split, could this lead to better bodybuilders going back into the Mr. Universe competition? And could we see a resurgence in the Mr. Universe for all these guys that are no longer able to, or politics are affecting their ability to compete in the Mr. Olympia? Could we see this lead to a growth in the Mr. Universe again? So that's one thing I'm excited to seeing from this split. Not really so much seeing a Mr. Universe versus Mr. Olympia again, but maybe just seeing the caliber of guys that are winning the Mr. Universe increase like we've seen this year. I think Shaun Tavernier has one of the best physiques we've seen in recent years to win the Mr. Universe aside from Lee Priest. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the NABBA Mr. Universe competition and what you think about Shaun Tavernier's physique. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.